Coming up in this episode, we have the catch-up part of scores and scorers for Super League and the NRL. Plus, Dan Sarginson calls time on his rugby league career. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and if you want to continue seeing more. We've also got our campaign carrying on with the Buy Me a Coffee page. If you can donate, please do. It goes to future rugby league projects. Anyway, let's start with the show as we normally do on a Monday and have a look at the Super League results first of all, and then move on to the other games like in the NRL and also the Challenge Cup. There's a lot to go through. And there's another story that we need to cover as well. Dan Sarginson. We go to Saturday as on the Our League app, Salford travelled to Hull FC and resoundingly beat the Black and Whites 60 points to 14. For the Black and Whites, they were trailing 30 points to 4 at half time and could only thank Jake Clifford, Adam Swift and Brad Fash 4 tries, and Jake Clifford for 1 conversion from his 3 attempts. Salford had tries from Dion Cross, Shane Wright got 2 as well as Cross, Briley, Dupree, Watkins, Sneed got a try apiece, and Tim Wi-Fi got 2. Mark Sneed had a decent day with a boot as well, as he kicked 8 from 10 goals, as Salford ran riot. He also kicked 2 penalties to give Salford that 60 points to 14 victory. Then round 4 means, with that completion of the results on Saturday, all the results are in, and they look like this. Wigan Warriors were beaten by Catalan's Dragons on Thursday night, 10 points to 18, while Friday saw the live TV game of Huddersfield versus Castleford Tigers ending a 36 points to 6 victory over for the Giants. OKR suffered defeat against Warrington Wolves, who go unbeaten for the first 4 games of their 2023 campaign. An 18 points to 10 victory away from home sees them come home. Wakefield Trinity are 1 game away from an unwanted record, being nilled in 3 different top flight games ever since Dewsbury did it back in the day, with Leeds Rhinos beating them 26 points to 0, with the resurgent Rhinos coming off the back of that St Helens victory. Lee Leopards beat St Helens in their second defeat of the season, 20 points to 12 at the Lee Sports Village after coming from behind in the first half. And then that results at Hull FC, 60 points to 14 to Salford Red Devils. And with that, here is the league table. Warrington Wolves are top with 4 wins from 4 and a better points difference, only 4 points better off than Catalan's Dragons, who are the only 2 teams left with an unbeaten record. Due to points difference, Wigan Warriors come 3rd, then comes Huddersfield with 1 game played less, Salford, Hull KR, Lee Leopards, Leeds Rhinos and Hull FC in that order. St Helens have only got 1 win from their 3 games, and who would have said that after they won the World Club Challenge? But Castleford Tigers and Wakefield Trinity sit at the bottom of the table. No points yet after 4 games. The NRL is our next port of call, as there was action played out on Sunday between 4 teams looking to get some decent momentum. The games included West Tigers versus St George Illawarra Dragons. Newcastle Knights and St George Illawarra Dragons took on the Gold Coast Titans. The Sunday fair usually sees the West Tigers versus Gold Coast Titans. Wonder why that is. In the first game, the Newcastle Knights came out victors against the West Tigers, 14 points to 12, in what was a fractious affair and one that had some great defence involved in it. At the beginning of the game, Kalen Pongia collided with West Tigers' Asu Kapoa in a head clash, totally accidental, which saw Kalen Pongia not return for the rest of the game. Knights though came up with a first try after Dom Young went in on the right edge after the ball was through the hands through creativity from Jackson Hastings, which Hastings went on to convert. The Knights took the lead out a bit further again after Lachlan Fitzgibbon scored on the 15th minute. Unfortunately, Hastings weren't able to convert this, and it got a little bit worse for the Knights as Dom Young was sin-binned for an early tackle on Brett Naden in the 29th minute. Against 12 men, Asu Kepoa scored West Tigers' first try, which Adam Dewey gleefully converted. The Knights then had to activate their 18th man after Brodie Jones was activated after Jaden Briley was ruled out with a head knock of his own in the first half. Half-time scoreline of 10-6 proceeded. In the second half, Newcastle had more injury rows. It won't be the last after Jack Johns didn't return after leaving the field on the 41st minute with an ankle injury. Then the 49th minute, Tyson Frizzell left the field as well with an ankle injury of his own after getting tangled close to the West Tigers line. On the 60th minute came the first points though, and it's another Dom Young race into the right corner, which made the scoreline 14-6. But 4 minutes later, the luck kept getting worse for the Knights as Jacob Sayafiti was sent off for a reckless high tackle on Jake Simpkin. Scoring finished on the 79th minute after Stefano Ulikamanu bouncing bomb try was confirmed by the bunker Adam Dewey, adding the extras right on the full-time booster. That means the final score was the Knights 14, the Tigers 12. The second game saw St George Illawarra Dragons come out 32-18 victors over the Gold Coast Titans. Zach Lomax got the point scoring going as he kicked a penalty after a strip was given against the Gold Coast Titans 17 metres out, and he took the penalty and it was a 2-0 lead to the Dragons. But it was the Titans who scored the first try after AJ Brimson was almost stopped about 10 to 15 metres out from the try line. He wriggled free with his strength and found the ball out wide to Afiliana Khan Pereira for the first try on the 12th minute, which Tane Boyd added the extras to. It was Sam Verrill who went over for the second try for the Titans after he found a gap close to the line and scored from dummy half. Boyd again was good with the boot and it was 12-2 at this stage. After a great break from about 60 metres out from Terrell Sloan, he found Jacob Liddell in support and Liddell went over underneath the sticks for his first try for the Dragons. Zach Lomax added the extras and that was 12-8. The Dragons followed this up off the back of a Michele Ravalawa drive which was forceful and absolutely tough as nails after a dropout went a bit short, to find Ben Hunt on the left edge who dummied and scooted his way over for a try on the 36th minute. The Dragons found themselves close to the try line on the right edge this time, and after a quick play of the ball went through the hands to Ravalawa who went in the right corner, close to being out on the right touchline. Neither of the tries were converted before half-time, but the Dragons were back in the lead, 16-12. At half-time, that was the score. Into the second half, it was the St George Illawarra Dragons who scored the points first off the whistle, as a great drive towards the try line from Zane Musgrove. He got his arms free and offloaded it to Ben Hunt, who delayed the pass, and an onrushing Tyrell Sloan came from nowhere and scored a try left of the posts. Fantastic effort, and Lomax added the extras. Tane Boyd gave up a dropout that didn't go 10 metres, which gave Zach Lomax another attempt at a two-pointer, and he, from right in front this time, added the extras to make it 24 points to 12 at this stage. Not long after, an offside was given against Gold Coast near the line, and Zach Lomax added the extras once again on the 53rd minute, for 26 points to 12. Another conversion was coming for Zach Lomax, who was 3 from 5 for the boot for conversions, and 3 from 3 from penalties, after Blake Lawrie steamed over from close range to score underneath the post, with some lacklustre defending from the Gold Coast Titans. The scoring finished with Tino Fasamalawi tapping the ball close towards the Gold Coast, the St George Illawarra try line, and he dove over, taking 2 players over with him, which Tane Boyd added the extras to. Full-time score then, that is 32 points to 18 in the Dragons' favour. So this is the entire weekend fixtures of round 2 in the NRL. Thursday saw the Panthers beat the Bunnies 16 points to 10 at Bluebet Stadium. The Sharks got an away win at Parramatta Eels 30 points to 12. Brisbane Broncos 26, North Queensland Cowboys 16 in the Queensland Derby. Sydney Roosters got their first win of the season against the New Zealand Warriors 20 points to 12, while the Dolphins made it 2 from 2 with 20 points to 14 victory over Canberra Raiders. The Canterbury Bulldogs beat Melbourne Storm 26 points to 12 at AAMI Stadium, AAMI Park even, and then we have the Knights winning 14-12 against the Tigers, and the Dragons 32 points to 18 against the Titans. So I finally worked out how this NRL ladder is going. Every time that you have a bye week, you've won the game. So it's a bit complicated with teams still winning. Why don't they just do it? Because they're all going to play the same amount of games in the end. Anyway, Manly Seagulls are top with 4 points from their 1 game. Well, the Dolphins are second with 4 points from their 2 games. So are Brisbane Broncos in 4th, but the St George Illawarra Dragons are 3rd with 4 points from 1 game. Penrith Panthers, the Souths, New Zealand Warriors, Sydney Roosters, Gold Coast Titans, and Cronulla Sharks, as well as Melbourne, Canterbury Bulldogs, and North Queensland Cowboys have all got 1 win apiece, while Canberra Raiders, Parramatta Eels, and West Tigers all are at the bottom of the table with no wins, so no points. And in our final part of the story, Dan Sarginson has walked away from rugby league at the age of just 29, admitting he wants to find more purpose in life. The ex-Wigan centre, who'd not played for a Super League club since August due to injury and illness, left Salford by mutual agreement on Friday, prompting speculation about his next Super League destination. However, Sarginson revealed on Sunday night he quit the sport after losing his desire and now wants to help others through their own struggles instead. In an interview with the Daily Mirror, it said, "I thought a lot of rugby lads would be shocked and confused as the norm is to play into your mid-30s and limp out of the game. But having been on smaller contracts in my younger years and now getting paid more at the back end, I realised I never really did this for the money. It's not the be-all and end-all. I just followed my gut. I got to the stage where I was perhaps looking for more purpose in life. I loved rugby league, don't get me wrong, I've met some amazing people and I'm super proud of everything I've achieved, like moving away from my home in London, taking big risks and learning so many beautiful life lessons playing this sport. But I've now drawn to a different path where I really want to help anyone who's struggling. I've struggled a lot throughout my life. I've been pulled in that direction where I can be a part of the solution. Whether that's in rugby or helping men or whatever, I'm not sure. I'll take some time out and do some real thinking. Sarginson and his family suffered a terrible loss in 2018 when his younger brother Adam died suddenly, aged just 23. And an emotional Sarginson won the grand final with Wigan just a few weeks later, his second title with the Cherry and Whites. He recalled about that situation. Losing my brother was tough and the whole rugby league community was amazing. Everyone at Wigan was top drawer, and I pitched myself thinking back, now that I've finished playing, that we could win that grand final. I felt like I did it for him, but definitely think that was the turning point in my life. I suffered from depression when I moved to Australia to play for Gold Coast, and I realised how much it affected my form and my life. He took steps to look after himself during this situation and said the more I started to work on myself and therapy and really start to do some deep work on myself to find out who I was beneath it all, I realised that there's a lot of people in life and rugby who could potentially jump on that some sort of journey of healing themselves. But alongside rugby, it can enhance performance, reduce stress, improve lifestyle and relationships. I wasn't aware how I'd played my whole career in quite a fear-based mentality. I was always worried about letting people down. I'd love to work with rugby players to help them realise they're good enough and to believe in themselves more. Sarginson was involved in the England squad just 12 months ago and started out at Hemel Stags, his hometown where he grew up, and played for London Broncos before earning a big move to Wigan. He managed only 29 games in the last 3 campaigns though with Salford, though missing most of the year was due to a fractured shoulder. Boss Paul Rowley explained in January that Sarginson was off with sickness and was on indefinite return. The Perth-born player said it was about the festive period that he decided he was going to retire. He himself featured in the 2014 and 2016 Four Nations for England, but cruelly missed Salford's Challenge Cup final 3 years ago due to COVID. And he explained that pre-season had been good and he felt super fit and really strong. I went home for Christmas and just came back and something had just flipped in me. I'd known I was going to retire anyway at the end of this year when my Salford contract was up. I threatened it a few years, but this was going to be the one. But just after Christmas, I just couldn't find the motivation to get up, and I realised I had to make sure that it was that, and it wasn't me going through a bit of a down phase. I really struggled to get back up for it, and didn't want to go against what I was feeling just for the sake of good money and the lifestyle. I felt there was more to it. It definitely wasn't anything a form thing or anything to do with the game. I just felt pulled towards helping people, and I feel I'll spring out of bed with a bit more energy now. A bit more purpose, a bit more direction in my life, and it's where I want to go. There's been injuries in the last few years, and I just wanted to finish while my body was still intact. I'm eternally grateful for rugby league, and I just want to end on my terms. I suppose I just haven't got the drive I used to have, which is what probably got me to this level. Never seen myself as naturally gifted. It's just work ethic, and I've always valued that stuff so highly. So when my motivation started to dissipate a bit, there was quite a bit of resistance. But I know I'll be cheering Salford on from the sidelines, and I do think they can go really well this year. Sarginson's rugby league career began with the London Broncos in 2011, playing 49 games in his 2-year spell, scoring 16 tries. Before his first spell at Wigan Warriors between 2014 and 2016, seen him play 81 games and 27 tries. Gold Coast Titans was his next port of call in 2017, but again an injury disrupted period sees him only playing 6 games. Then another 2-year spell at Wigan Warriors saw him play 46 games for the club, scoring 10 tries. And before his announcement, Dan Sarginson played 29 times for Salford Red Devils, scoring 5 tries. He was an England Knights international in 2012, playing 3 games and scoring 2 tries, and played for England 3 times during 2014 and 2016. In total, Dan Sarginson has a record of 217 first grade matches while scoring 60 tries to his name. And that's it for another episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and share this video worldwide, as well as clicking on that notification bell for any updates on new videos that may be coming your way in the near future. Tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode in the comment section below, as it's open for business and anyone can have their say. At the end of the day, as long as you be respectful, you can have any discussion about any rugby league subject that you want, and I'll try and answer as best as I can. Anyway, tell me what your thoughts are on today's episode in the comment section. Any of the stories perk your interest, or is there something else that you want me to cover? At the end of the day, I do this for you, and it gets dark as well. Well, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to share this video worldwide. And now in the episode, as I always do, by wishing you all the very best. But please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode.